Hello, I'm Stalnaker with Hub Culture, and we're at the World Climate Summit in Durban, South Africa, against the backdrop of COP17. I'm here with James Dailey and April Allderdice from Microenergy Credits. It's a really interesting business and really great the work that you guys are doing, and I'd love to have a chat with you about the overview and the new news that you guys have coming out of COP.
Great, fantastic. Well, Microenergy Credits is a financial intermediary that links microfinance institutions to the carbon markets when they lend for clean energy. So when households buy a solar lighting system, a water purifier, or an efficient cook stove, it creates a carbon emission reduction. We buy that emission reduction, sell it on the carbon markets, take a margin on the sale that makes us sustainable, and then we pass on the funding from the carbon markets onto the microfinance institutions so that they can scale up their clean energy lending program. Microfinance institutions reach about 1 billion people already around the world, so they are an incredibly important distribution channel to reach people with quality of life products like solar and cooking.
So this is a double win. We're talking, or maybe even a triple or quadruple win, right? So we're talking about projects that are helping the carbon initiatives worldwide, and we're talking about projects that are improving the lives of the people who use them, and we're also talking about getting capital into the hands of people who have the least access to it, right?
That's right.
So how many birds have we just killed with one stone?
5 or 6.
Right. Okay.
Exactly. No, I mean, this really goes to the heart of why we started up Microenergy Credits. It's really to enable the people who live at the bottom of the pyramid, the people who live on $2 a day, to gain access to clean energy services that they wouldn't otherwise be able to. So, indoor air pollution.
And that's because this stuff is more expensive than their local alternative?
There's usually a barrier to adoption. It's usually because there isn't a local supplier or there isn't a local financing partner. And what we do by working with microfinance institutions is solve those barriers for an introduction and a massive scale up for clean energy technologies. We could talk about cook stoves in particular. That's one where there's this amazing benefit to people who switch from one kind of cook stove to another. The indoor air pollution is a leading cause of
So we're
problems.
talking about, so cook stoves are like a multifaceted problem. They destroy the air and the air quality of the people who are using them inside their often small houses. You have to use charcoal, right? So you're contributing to deforestation just to get the wood.
Yep.
So you have entire villages burning down their forest just to burn it for heat. So the cook stoves, what are the new kind of technologies that are changing that? I've heard about LED cook stoves and some other things happening, which are like, you'd think of LED in lighting, but I've never heard of it in cook stoves until just here at COP.
We're primarily working with efficient cook stoves. So these are stoves that are still using wood or charcoal, but they're using 50% or even more reduction in the amount of fuel that people have to use. And
does that generate a carbon credit?
It generates a carbon credit, and not only that, but it causes savings at the household level. So when we're talking about these double and triple bottom line benefits, there's an economic case for the households that they can start saving money every month after they've bought one of these efficient stoves.
And so, but the stoves are still burning wood.
So typically we work with stoves that are burning wood or charcoal. The bottom of the pyramid are typically using these traditional fuels. There is a huge opportunity to switch to LPG as a cleaner fuel.
Because I thought LED was really weird. So LPG, what is LPG?
So liquefied petroleum gas, and so
propane.
Essentially, yeah. So these are the containers that you can buy. Oftentimes for poor households, this again is a financing issue.
Yeah.
They need a loan so that they can buy the upfront cost of the container so that they can start using LPG for cooking. And so that's, if we can think of a ladder, an energy ladder of steps that we want households to go through so that they can achieve a middle class quality of life. The efficient cook stove is an easy win. It's very cost effective, and it's something that pretty much any household that's using traditional fuels can benefit from. And then once they have some savings and they've increased their wealth a little bit and are able to jump up another level, then it's LPG, which is also a very clean cooking fuel.
And what other kinds of disruptive technologies are you guys looking into helping to scale using these sort of marriage between carbon and microcredit?
Well, there's a variety of ones, but I'll just highlight the lighting technologies have come a long way in the last 20 years, right? So now we've got LED lights connected to a solar panel, and so that battery LED that
It's
creates
effectively sustainable, right? Because the sun's charging it every day, and
and it's being offered at much lower price point than it. And so households really can afford it with a little bit of financing. And the microfinance institutions that get involved with us, they see a benefit to their clients because it's aligned with their mission, and that technology is readily available. It's now really off the shelf kinds of things.
so let's say that I'm a microfinance institution. How do I get involved with you guys? How do I figure out how do I make it happen? Because it seems like one microfinance institution itself could have an impact on many people that obviously are their customers or in their network. So assuming you're a microfinance institution, that seems like the most important people that you guys need to be reaching now in signing up for this project. How do these institutions make it happen with you?
So Microenergy Credits is currently working with 18 microfinance institutions around the world, representing over 15 million households that are receiving microfinance loans. And
So that must be keeping you busy.
and it's a three-step process to participate in Microenergy Credits microfinance carbon program: planning, marketing, and monitoring.
Okay.
So the first step is planning, and we work closely with the microfinance institution to develop their business plan about how to scale up their clean energy product unit.
Okay.
The second step is marketing. So what's really key for us is that the microfinance institutions reach a critical scale so that they have a sustainable business in their first year. And so marketing is absolutely key for that. You have to reach a wide number of clients very early on. And then the third step is monitoring. And so as we know with the carbon markets, it's essential that you have transparent and robust verification of the carbon emission reduction. And so with our program, we have
And is there a certification that's happening with these?
That's right, yeah. So we've traditionally worked in the voluntary markets, and we're switching now to the CDM markets. And so, yes, using the standard CDM certification.
That's great. I mean, that'll make it probably easier for others to invest in the projects.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
So, any other news coming out of COP for you guys?
There is. So OPIC, the Overseas Private Investment Corporation of the U.S. government, is investing $10 million in microenergy credits to scale up access to finance for clean energy for microfinance clients around the world.
That's great. So you're going to use that capital to help bring others into the platform and to help scale it to
That's right.
more impact.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
thank you to OPIC and the American people, right, who are driving this innovation. You know, I think sometimes the U.S. doesn't get enough credit for some of the innovative things that they're really working on a little bit more
Right.
behind the scenes.
That's
So-
right. That's right. And it's very innovative on the part of OPIC and the U.S. government, and it's going to have a tremendous international impact as well, focusing on people at the bottom of the pyramid.
So great.
Yes.
Good. Well, we need those kinds of impacts. So thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Once again, I'm Stan Stalnaker at the World Climate Summit, and we're talking about everything related to climate.